Russian recipes, and one of the things we're making is, Linda, your potato pies.
That's right.
And these are one of my favorites.
Well, anything with potatoes is her favorite. And then we also have...
these vegetable pots, and I'll bet you're wondering what those are.
Well,
they're good.
They're wonderful. And then Tatiana's meatballs, and they aren't real meat, they're vegetarian. And they're wonderful as well.
And we have borscht soup for you to try.
That's
Ooh,
right.
And I love beets.
And we're going to tell you that, yeah, exactly, how to make borscht soup. And then your eggplant and tomatoes. And that's a wonderful appetizer or an entree.
And then coleslaw, because everybody knows you have cabbage in Russia.
Exactly. And last but not least, Russian rice crepes. And those are delicious. We can't wait to share them with you. But first, you're going to be blessed with a song by Steve Darmody, One More Day.
One more time to hide in the green pasture by your side. One more prayer that I can pray. Thank you for one more day. One more time that I can rest and feel the comfort of your love, your peace, your happiness. One more soul to send your way. Thank you for one more day. I used to think that I could make it on my own, never knowing that you were with me all along. But oh, how good it feels to know that you are there. And I love the time we share. One more song to sing your praise, an opportunity to share your sweet and precious ways. One more time that I can say thank you for one more day. I used to think that I could make it on my own, never knowing that you were with me all along. But oh, how good it feels to know that you are there. And I love the time we share. One more song to sing your praise, an opportunity to share your sweet and your precious ways. One more time that I can say thank you for one more. Thank you for one more. Thank you for one more day. Lord, I thank you for one more day.
Every day is just one more day with Jesus. Isn't that right?
That's right.
That's true. Thank you so much, Steve. Well, we are so excited because we love Russian food. We've been over there a couple of times.
Wonderful.
We had such wonderful time over there. And let me just share with you that the Russian people are the most hospitable, most kindest, sweetest, nicest people you'd ever want to meet.
Loving. They treat you like family.
They made us feel so loved and so welcome. And they are awesome, incredible cooks.
That's right.
Absolutely. And you know what? They were also generous because they were willing to share some of their recipes with us. And of course, we just want to make sure you understand that today's recipes is the Micheff sisters' version of the Russian recipes, because one thing I noticed, like later on I'm going to be making Tatiana's meatballs, well, some of the ingredients that she gave me aren't quite the same that we can get here in the States. And I'm sure that's true for other countries that are watching this program, that we are giving you recipes. You're going, wait a minute, I can't find what they're fixing. So it's we kind of got a reverse feel for that.
But you know, we actually did a cooking school in Russia.
Yes.
And we found out that you can't get all the foods that we use here, you can't get in Russia. So it's all, it works both ways there.
In fact, I'd like to tell them a little story. When we were on our way from the train from Moscow to Nizhny, Novgorod, which we were on our way to, where the Russian 3abn station is at, we were looking through our recipes, and Julia Utkina was with us, the director of 3abn Russian television over there. And so
our Russian sister.
Our Russian sister. We adopted Julia.
That's right.
As one of our Micheff sisters, yes, and now there's 4 of us. But we were looking through our recipes, and we were saying, oh, Julia, now can we get this? Can we get this? And she go, oh, no, you can't get that. And we go, huh? Well, what about this? Oh, no, okay. And we literally tore up our recipes
together
like this for all 3
together.
of us. We went, okay, here they go, out the window. We're on the train.
That's right. We literally just wadded them all up, and all 3 of us just threw them.
We said, okay.
But we really didn't throw them out the window.
No, we did. We picked them up.
So don't get excited. We know we're not supposed to throw trash around.
We picked
so,
it up.
Mom, if you're watching, we didn't do that, Mom.
But you know, a lot of people had us over to their homes. And my brother Kenny has a word. He made up this word because sometimes he'll have something that is just, so good he can't describe it. So he combined 2 words. When he really likes something, he goes, that's fan-credible. So, Kenny, these recipes are fan-credible.
That's right. That's right. So we had such a wonderful time there, and we're going to be sharing some pictures with you from our trip throughout the program as well. So stay tuned. Right now, we are going to show. Linda's going to show us how to do.
We're going to put up the first recipe. We're going to make Russian potato pie, and I'm going to ask Sister Cinda to read it.
You will need, for the dough, 1 cup of warm water, 1/4 cup of Earth Balance margarine, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup of Soy Good milk powder, 1 tablespoon of yeast, 2 cups of unbleached flour, 1/4 cup of whole wheat. For the potato filling, you will need 4 medium cooked hot potatoes, 1/2 cup of tofutti sour cream, and 1½ teaspoons of salt.
Now, one thing about this recipe is that I'm surprised Cinda didn't make this recipe, because her very favorite
Well,
food is potatoes.
actually, Linda beat me to it, but she did such a fan-credible job making this.
Oh dear, Cinda's got a brand new name now.
Okay, one thing I do want to share with you in some of this, like you don't have to have like Earth Balance margarine, any kind of soy margarine will do. And also for soy milk, just any kind of soy milk powder, whatever one is your favorite.
I just wanted to add this, because there's many parts of the world that you cannot get soy products. You can't get tofu, you can't get soy products. And if you live in a place where it's just not available, go ahead and use the dairy. You can substitute the dairy products for a cup by cup measurement. You know, it's equal measurements, so that we understand that there's not all places. I just received a letter from a woman named Tercia from South Africa telling us that she loved our recipes, but there were so many ingredients that she couldn't have, and one of those is tofu products. So Tercia, if you're listening, just go ahead and use regular dairy products, okay?
But use the low fat.
That's right.
Because it's healthier for you.
Exactly.
Okay, we're going to put our water in, our warm water, and we're going to put our soy milk powder in.
Okay.
And sis, you want to beat that up?
All right. How much am I beating?
And this actually is just taking the place of warm milk. The powder is a little... Okay, good job. Okay, we're going to add our soy margarine that I have, it's melted.
Now, did you melt that in the microwave, or does it matter?
Yes, I did, but you can melt it any way you want to.
Okay.
And I'm going to add our salt in here. Okay, and then I'm going to add some of the flour. Now, one thing over in Russia is that we could not find wheat flour. If it was there, we hunted at market after market after market. We couldn't find it. But I am going to add 1/4 cup of whole wheat flour here.
Okay.
So how's it coming?
I'm stirring.
Now I think you're ready for this spoon.
You don't want me to whip all them lumps out?
No?
No? Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'll do it. I'm told.
All right, there we go.
What's the time? Okay. I think you ought to give this job to Cinda.
Well, Cinda has a job. We're going to get, while you're mixing that all up,
all right.
Sis, if you could take the potatoes over here, and what she's going to do is mix the tofutti sour supreme in there. It's the same thing. It's a substitute for sour cream. And then she's going to put the salt in and just mix it around. It's as simple as that.
Wow. See, she gave me the potato job because actually, I'm surprised she gave me the potato job because I'm really tempted to just eat this whole thing.
Now, am I supposed to just let this set now?
Well, and usually it looks to me like it needs just a little bit more flour. It should be not real sticky to the touch.
Okay, so let me get you
the three of us went over to Russia, and we actually designed and decorated the cooking set for them. And the story for these potato pies were, we were so busy, and we really wanted to get this set finished and decorated before we had to leave. So we didn't stop to go to a restaurant. We never did eat out. We never did eat out in a restaurant. And we would run into a bakery and grab one of these potato pastries, and then we would just keep shopping, and we'd eat these as we went. And they were so good. They were so good that Julia went and got me several of them, and I ate them on the airplane, every one of them on the way home.
That's right. Now with this dough, I was going like this in Russia, and this lady came up to me and she goes, no, let me help you. And she got this huge big stick. And
is no in Russian.
And she got this huge big stick, and she took it and she went wham, 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 and that was the softest dough. And then as we were getting ready to leave, she presented it to me, and so I had this great big thing to carry home on the plane. And I still have it, and it's wonderful. So thank you, my Russian sister. But anyways, you want to work this until it's nice and soft, and actually that was enough flour.
In fact, you know what? Let's take a second to put her picture up right now, because we have the woman that actually made these potato pies. Look at here. Here's a picture of her with those pies. Don't those look beautiful?
And she was a wonderful lady in her 80s, and she had to go downstairs and a stairway that went round and around like this, and she had this oven that she had to put lots of sticks and stuff in it and make a fire.
Hot coals.
Until it got to hot coals until she could bake these, and they were perfect. My oven does not make it as good as hers.
That's right. There you go.
Okay, now this, you just want to put in the bowl. I don't know, did you take my bowl? That's okay.
Oh, you want to add all the salt, sis?
Here you go.
To taste. So if you
got
need
your bowl
it,
back.
Oh, so I can taste this?
oh, it's a little bit. So
You better
just
be
spray your
careful. She's
bowl.
going to eat
I
your
can
potatoes.
taste this.
Let this raise. And now we're going to take the dough. We already had dough that has raised. And we're going to take it and show you what to do with it real quick.
Okay.
Because for the sake of time here, you're just going to take your dough and spread it out like this.
All right.
Okay, kind of in an oval shape.
So how many times does this have to rise? Just
Once.
Just once, okay.
Okay, and some of this potato mixture, you just take and you spread it around like that. And it's usually just about a couple tablespoons. And you can make these big or little.
For me, if you're making these for me, put a whole lot of that potato filling in.
Okay, and you just go like that.
Fold it over.
And can you spray that pan, sis, a
I
little bit?
sure will.
And then you just go like that, and it's done. And you put it on. You put them on the thing like that. Let them raise until they'll raise up just a little bit. Bake them for about 20 minutes. They're good, and we have the finished potato pies right there for you to look at.
Hold Cindy back quick. She's going to get them.
Okay, what's our next recipe?
Our next one is Cinda's vegetable pots. Let's read the recipe, Cinda.
Okay. You will need 3 to 4 potatoes, sliced and cut into strips, mushrooms sliced, 1 onion cut into slivers, 2 carrots cut into slices, 1 cup of water, 1 teaspoon of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of Veggie-Cell, and 1 teaspoon of Vegeta. Now, this recipe I got from one of the dear ladies that we made friends with, Anna. And Anna actually had invited us to her house, and we were so busy at the studio decorating that we didn't have time to go to her house.
Right.
And so what she did is she brought the meal to us, which was so sweet. And it was in these adorable clay pots. And it was so good. And all of us liked it so much, and I was just like, oh, I love these. And before I left Russia, before the 3 of us left Russia, they gave me some of these clay pots. They gave us each one of us some of these pots. And I just love them. And you know, I brought them all the way back from Russia, and then I'm fine, and I got here to the studio and broke one of the lids. And Valerie, one of the engineers from Russia was here visiting, and he fixed it for me. I mean, it just looks.
Can we show them?
I mean, look at this. I mean, it was broken, and you can't even tell.
It's in several pieces.
Valerie,
And then turn it around, look at the inside.
Thank you so much.
done.
He did such a good job, and I just want to thank him. But this is the pots they gave us, and if you do not have pots, you can use individual baking dishes. And then that way you just put these on the table, and each one has their individual serving. And there aren't any real measurements for this, is what Anna told us when I was asking her about the recipe.
Well, they don't have measuring cups over there.
They don't
and
have measuring
spoons.
cups.
A little bit of this and a little bit of that.
And
a little bit of this.
so I've just prepared the vegetables that she said went in the recipe, and then I'll show you how to layer it. And it's so simple.
My kind of recipe.
Exactly. And you can also change some of the vegetables out. Like you could use summer squash or zucchini, or some seasonal vegetables if you want.
Or your favorite vegetable.
Or your favorite, right.
Yeah.
So I've already sliced some potatoes up, and we'll put those in the bottom of our pot.
I noticed you started with potatoes first.
Oh, I'm going to do, which is one of the reasons why I absolutely loved this recipe. And then we'll do a handful of carrots. I mean,
this is a good recipe for kids to be able to help with, too.
Oh, yes.
Get your kids
and
in the
we'll
kitchen.
do some onion. And
if you hate onions, leave them out.
leave them out, exactly. And then we'll do some mushrooms. Now, I'm using the baby portobello mushroom, but you can, she used a variety of mushrooms. There's also some button mushrooms in here too, but I love the baby portobello. And then start all over again with the potatoes. And, lots of potatoes. Make sure you put lots of potatoes in there, especially if I'm going to be eating it. A little more carrots, a little more onion. And you want to fill it all the way up, because as they cook, the vegetables will shrink down. And so they'll shrink down to just a little bit over half. So, it might look like I'm putting a whole lot in here, but it shrinks down. Okay, now we'll do, then we'll take a cup of water, and you can add any kind of vegetable seasoning. Now some of the seasonings she called for, we cannot get here in the States, but what she told me was she used a couple different kinds of vegetable seasoning. So that's what I did. I used 2 different types of vegetable seasoning, and you can also do a little bit of salt to taste. And this is the, I couldn't find the seasoning that she was asking for, and so I'm using the Vegex, which is a vegetable seasoning, but you can use 2 powdered vegetable seasonings if you want. And I'm going to stir this up really good. Sis, if you want to pour just like a teaspoonful of olive oil in it, and I use the extra virgin olive oil.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's good. You don't want to use a lot. I use the extra virgin olive oil, and then you want to pour this over the top like this, and then you will put the lid on. And if you do not have, like, oops, we'll give me just a touch more oil, and we'll dissolve that in it.
I guess I have to take the lid off. Sorry about that.
That's good.
Okay.
That's good. You don't want a lot. And if you do not have pots with lids like we have here, see, this has, thank you, Valari. This is my nice lid. And then you can cover it with foil. And put this in the oven. You want a hot oven, like 375 to 400 degrees, and put it in there for an hour. And then let's show you how I've already done one for you. And
also let's show a picture of Anna. I want you to see what Anna looks like after this too.
Yes.
Because doesn't that look delicious?
And it is so good. That broth is so good in it, and those vegetables. Oh, it's just a very, very nice meal.
First, let's put Anna's picture up. This is a picture of my sisters and I. We had just finished a concert over there.
That's
and
right.
It's a picture of Anna is on the far left, and then there's some precious children that followed us to our apartment afterwards. And little Dasha is between Cinda and I, and that little girl just stole my heart. I love her. So if Dasha's watching, hello from Miss Brenda to you. And we really enjoyed so many precious, wonderful friends there.
Well, sis, you have, speaking of a precious, wonderful friend,
right?
Let's
our Tatiana's
Tatiana.
meatballs. And I'll tell you all about Tatiana too. But first, let me read the recipe. You'll need 1 medium onion, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of garlic, 2½ cups of chopped walnuts, 1 cup of shredded soy cheese, 2 tablespoons of parsley, 3 cups of oats. You'll also need 1 teaspoon of salt, and soy milk is needed, and then 2 cups of dried breadcrumbs. And that's it. Don't you love recipes with just that few ingredients? I do, because it makes it so easy. And speaking of making it easy, I have already pre-sauteed my onions and my garlic. And I just wanted to give you a little tip. You can use the little garlics out of the jars, but I don't like the garlic out of the jar. I love that fresh garlic taste. There's nothing like it, but if that's all you got, then I can understand that. So we're gonna just put our onions in the bowl.
And actually, our sister Cinda's got us doing that, doing our onions up ahead like that.
Yeah, so you got to thank her for that, because she does not like the smell of onions cooking. And now we're just going to add our oats, okay?
And I don't like raw onions.
That's absolutely right. They got to be done. And then our walnuts, and there's lots of walnuts in here if you notice, and our parsley, and teaspoon of salt.
And you can use dried or fresh parsley.
I like the fresh parsley, but this happened to be dry. But you're right, you can use either one. And we're just going to mix that up. And then I'm going to add the shredded soy cheese. Now, this is not the same kind that Tatiana used in Russia, so just so you know that. But I could not find the kind that she used.
They don't have it in the States that I know of.
She didn't know if they did or not. But now I want to just share a little tip here now. I'm going to just take this out, because when you're in the kitchen, I always keep these handy. I keep a box of latex gloves in my kitchen. That's as essential to me as any utensil I've got in there.
And if you're allergic to latex, there's other gloves on the market that you can get.
Gloves as well.
Right.
And the reason I use this is because I like to be really, really clean and keep my food clean. So I'm going to put these on. And I am going to really get in there and mix these meatballs. So I should have you do that.
Too late. She's got the gloves on.
Okay.
I got to tell you, I liked these meatballs so much, and I just kept eating them. And when we were ready to leave their house, Tatiana came up and she gave me this box. It looked like a beautiful box of chocolates. And I said, oh, I love chocolate. I said, thank you so much. And Julia was interpreting for us, and she said, Cinda, they want you to open the box. And so I opened the box of supposedly chocolates, and they had taken all the chocolates out, and they had filled the entire box of chocolates with meatballs.
And I was bragging on them so much that everywhere we went, I was getting Tatiana's meatballs, and I was loving it.
Which is a lot healthier for you than chocolate.
That's right.
And I mean, on the boy, I had a feast on the plane ride back.
Okay, now when I was sharing with you that you want soy milk as needed, the reason why I say as needed, because you're never going to know the amount. You just keep pouring a little bit, and you keep mixing until it's the right consistency that holds together. So Linda, why don't you start adding the soy milk, and I'll start mixing. Just keep on there. And let's see how.
And make sure you use.
You don't want too much, so add a little and then squeeze it together like this. And let's see how we're doing. That might be enough.
Make sure you use the original plain flavored soy milk. You do not want like the vanilla flavor or anything.
Exactly.
Good point, sis.
Now I want you to look closely. We don't need any more. You can put that down. And you can see that I'm just squeezing this together and really mixing it good. I want you to see how it's really moist, but yet it's not quite really sticking together. That's why I brought some that I've already set in the refrigerator. I like to mix this up the night before, just like this, and then set it in the refrigerator. And I want to show you, if you just have over here, I want to show you the difference. This is what's already set in the refrigerator, and look how this sticks together. If you can see the difference, you see how this sticks together? And this is really loose.
Just go ahead and make me that one, because I want that big one.
Okay, so I'm just going to roll them in a ball. And once I roll them in a ball, actually, Linda, I think if you change places and come over here, I'm going to have you put them in the skillet and Cinda can turn them. We're going to roll these in the bowl.
Boy, we're teamwork, I'll tell you.
Roll them around in the crumbs. And just coat them with the breadcrumbs.
Good thing I washed my hands.
And she did. And then put them in the fire and turn that heat up.
In the fire?
Oops, sorry, not in the fire, but you know, in the skillet that's on the fire.
That's what that lady did when she was in Russia. She put her stuff in the fire.
I know. I was thinking about all that fire. See, I was thinking about all that fire in the potato pies. That was really something. That really was.
That was good.
And so while we're waiting for just see how they go together so nicely.
And this is just breadcrumbs and parsley?
Yep, this is just seasoned breadcrumbs. But you know what? What she used was something called rusks. R-U-S-K-S, which I couldn't find. And so
our mom used to make it.
And it's in our recipe book. We have a recipe for it.
Can you make us some rusk so we can grind it up for this?
We actually have a recipe for that in our first cookbook, rusk, which is delicious, but I didn't have time to make that today for that. So so you're having seasoned breadcrumbs, which works just fine too. And it's absolutely delicious. But I have a picture of
Tatiana.
Of Tatiana with Pastor Valeria. Her husband was the conference president, and he's the conference president of another region now, I believe. But Pastor Valeria and his wife Tatiana and us girls, when we were over there, and that's a picture of us at their house. And Tatiana is the one that inspired this recipe.
And she's an incredible cook because you're doing another recipe that she had made for us. And I mean, she's an incredible cook.
Absolutely incredible.
Everything we had there, we absolutely loved.
That's right. So see, when you're done, you take your gloves off, your hands are absolutely clean, and your food is really, really clean, and I just love that. And
well, Sister Linda, you have a recipe for us.
Wait a minute. I want to show them the finished
yes.
dish. Well, we got to show you the finished dish.
I guess we can wait then.
So take a look, because there they are, all fried up nice and golden. You see how golden and brown they get compared to what you saw where it was still frying, and then that's all there is to it. So now we are ready for your dish, Linda.
All right, now we're going to make some borscht soup. And for the borscht soup, you will need 8 cups of water, 6 cups of cabbage, 1 medium carrot grated, 1 cup of onions diced fine, 2 cups of potatoes diced, 1 red sweet pepper diced, 1 medium beet grated, 1/4 cup of fruit sweetened ketchup, 1 tablespoon of olive oil. And you will need 1 tablespoon of parsley, 1/2 teaspoon of dill weed, 1 teaspoon of garlic minced fine, 1½ cups of beans cooked, any type of beans, 2½ teaspoons of salt or to taste, and 1 bay leaf. One thing that we enjoyed when we had the privilege of going to different homes to eat was they always served us soup first.
That's right.
Every place.
And it was always fresh soup. And when we were there was lots of cucumbers, tomatoes,
the best cucumbers
fresh
I've
cabbage,
ever eaten.
carrots. It was so good. And we really enjoyed it.
But you know what we enjoyed is all their vegetables and all their food was from the fresh vegetables.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
they didn't use canned or
No.
frozen. It was fresh from the garden. And it makes a big difference.
That's right.
Do you know, remember when we went to the market and we were trying to figure out different seasonings and they had different names, you know, than what we have here, and so
That's right.
we were trying to smell them or whatever, and this one lady, she was just such an awesome lady. I just loved her. When we were there talking with her and sharing with her, she didn't have very many zucchini, but she wanted to give us a gift from her. And remember that? She gave us one of her special zucchinis, and we took it home. I mean, we took it back with us, and we used that, you know, too, back at the place where we were staying at 3ABN.
Right.
That's right.
That was such an awesome gift. Well, we are going to
I was
start
just
with
going
some
to share.
soup.
One of the things that I think that Russians are known for is their borscht soup, and I love borscht. It is so good. And in fact, many of the homes we went to had borscht soup. And in fact, I want to share, I was just talking with you about Tatiana's meatballs. Well, we actually have a picture here of the table that Tatiana set, and you can see all this beautiful food. Here is this steaming bowl of borscht soup, and you can also see Tatiana's meatballs there on the table, and also Cinda's eggplant dish that she's going to make in a few minutes. You can see it there. It's absolutely delicious, and that is, it was wonderful. And you can see what a beautiful table that Tatiana set as well.
Yeah.
You know, it was.
They're very gifted. And one neat thing is that when you go there, they always give you fresh flowers.
Yes.
We had beautiful fresh flowers. I mean, it just made us feel so warm and welcome, and inspired me to do more for when people come to my house.
Do you know what I liked that they always gave us that I really liked the best?
What?
Big hugs.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I'm going to put our water
aren't
in.
the only ones with big hugs. We love those hugs.
Micheff sisters are, in fact, Micheff family is known for their hugs. And Russian people, I mean, they would always have a big hug
Great
for
big
us.
hug.
Yeah, we bonded with them. Yeah. We love you. Well, this is cabbage, grated cabbage. We're going to put that in. I think we had 6 cups here. Sis, you want to help me here?
I'll be
That's
happy
another
to.
thing that I've noticed when we were in Russia. There was lots and lots of cabbage available.
Every meal had cabbage.
Yes.
All
And
right.
I love cabbage.
And we're going to put the carrots, and we're going to let that kind of cook together
And
for
those are
just a little
grated,
bit.
right?
Grated
And
carrots?
Sis, if you could turn the fire on
Okay.
that.
I can do it.
All right.
I'm a multitasker. just give me a task.
Aren't you impressed?
I can, put a spoon in both hands. I'm a multitasker. I can,
Okay.
not a problem.
While we're waiting, we're going to put our olive oil in here. And if you have a different kind of vegetable oil or whatever, that's okay. I just like the taste of the flavor of olive oil. And then we're going to saute our red peppers, our cup of red peppers.
I love red peppers.
And I did partially, I left some in here.
Oh, my
Watching,
goodness.
sis. Get them out.
And then we have some onions, which I did, sis. I put them in the microwave just a little
Cook
bit.
them ahead of
You
time so they're
pre-cooked them
really
until they're clear.
That's right.
And then for the seasoning here, and sis, if you could get me some salt. I
Okay.
think I had some on the counter.
And don't
up
you
there.
want to you want to saute the peppers
Here's your
until they're
salt.
tender.
Until they're tender. And so we're going to put
Helping you
some
out.
parsley, and actually they used fresh parsley.
I
And
love
then we're
fresh,
going to
the
put
taste
some
of fresh
salt
parsley.
in there. And I think I had a little bit of garlic there somewhere.
Right
I've got
here.
some dill
Right
weed.
here.
Okay, got a little bit of
Oh, I love
garlic.
dill.
Whoops, there you go.
All right, we'll put the garlic in there.
Okay.
And they always had like lots of fresh garlic.
Now,
and,
could you saute that garlic with your onion and pepper over there?
You could.
Okay.
You definitely could do that. Okay, and I'm going to stick a bay leaf in there. They have bay leaf there. And then we're going to put the beets over here.
Oh, really?
Saute them a little bit.
Wow. Now, do you saute those till they're tender?
Here,
They can saute a
I'm
little.
not getting away with that one.
Every last beet's going in there.
That's right.
And I love beets, too.
And then we
They're
are
so good
going
for
to
you.
put our ketchup over in here. That's you can get a fruit sweetened ketchup. I actually make my own, and I think we put it in our second cookbook.
Yes,
my
we
fruit
did.
sweetened ketchup. So you
right.
can try that if you want to. And I'm going to go back to my main pot here, and I'm going to add my beans. Right like that.
Now, can you add any kind of a
You can
bean?
put in
That's
your
right.
favorite beans. It doesn't matter what you put in
Does that
there.
look
The
like
beets are
navy
going to
beans?
make it red.
That's
so-
right. That's true. But which is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
I think that makes it, actually. I really like that.
Okay, you just saute that for a little bit, and now let's put that into the soup.
All right. Whoops, wrong one. All right. Put it right in. Watch out.
Okay.
Stand back.
Okay. I believe that beets are pretty staining, so you don't want them on your clothes. so you probably want to wear an apron for this
I was
job.
worried about it being hot.
Right. Now, one thing about this soup, let it cook until it's done, and then
that
turn
smells
it
good already.
Turn it down and let it simmer a couple hours because it really flavors good. Actually, I even like to. It's good leftover.
Wow.
It's really good. Now we have the finished
Dish
soup
right
over
here.
here that you can see, and
And you just
it's
sprinkled with
delicious.
that with a little parsley,
I just
too.
sprinkled
and
a
it's
little parsley on top of it, and
It looks delicious.
It's ready to
That's
go.
right.
So what's our next recipe?
I already know it's delicious because I tasted it.
Oh, okay.
The next recipe is Russian eggplant and tomatoes. You will need 2 fresh eggplants, 2 to 3 inches in diameter, small tomatoes, fresh basil, and olive oil. Now, this recipe we actually had at another lady's house that we made really good friends with, Savetta.
That's right. She's
And
our photographer, too. She
that's-
followed us all and took so many wonderful pictures.
Oh, she's awesome at photography.
Awesome. She is. That's
and
right.
her
And an awesome
daughter
cook.
helped her cook. And then we have a picture
Yes.
of her and her daughter. This is Savetta and her daughter. And which her daughter's a good cook too. So
That's right.
Savetta must be also a good teacher besides a good photographer
That's
because she's
right.
taught her daughter how to cook.
That's true.
And she made this eggplant and tomato dish, which using the freshest ingredients, and I think that's the key too. And
Yes.
it's a very simple recipe. I think you'll really enjoy this.
And can I tell a little secret on you? I saw you eating more than one. I saw her, Savetta. So she was over there. She was taking one and then another and then another. I think that's why you told her how to make it.
Well, you'll want to start with some eggplant, and when you're getting eggplant, make sure that you do not want really large ones, and you want to make sure that they're uniform in color. You want them kind of shiny with no bruises on them, and then you'll go ahead and cut the ends off and peel them, which I've already done, and slice them. And then I just took a little bit of salt and I sprinkle them over the top. And then you'll want to dredge them in flour. Now this is just unbleached flour. And then you want to put these in some hot oil, which I don't know how. Yeah,
I cranked
hot.
it up. Let me get a fork.
And let them cook, and you'll make sure you turn them, and you'll make them let them cook until they're tender,
A little bit golden.
and a little bit golden on each side. And then you take them out and put them on a platter. And now I've had them 2 different ways, but the way that we had at Savetta's house and her daughter is they took some Roma tomatoes, and their tomatoes in Russia
They are so good.
were
Good.
fan-credible. our brother Kenny's word, they were fan credible. And they put a thin slice of the Roma tomato down. Then they put some of the eggplant that they had just sauteed. And then you put another slice of the Roma tomato. And then take some fresh basil and cut it up into just little strips and then sprinkle it over the top. And you can see we already have some done for you that I did earlier. And it is just delicious.
It is. It's absolutely delicious. It's kind of like a sandwich of a tomato instead of the bread.
That's right.
You know, an eggplant sandwich.
Which I really liked because, I mean, it's just delicious.
Well, their bread was wonderful, too.
That's true.
Well, that's true. And another thing that I had there was coleslaw. And
this is so
they
good.
have everywhere you go. I mean, there's cabbage. They have cabbage, I think, at every single meal that we had there. And so I came back and said, I am going to create a coleslaw recipe. Now, you know me, I'm going to add just a little bit of spice to this. And you don't have to get it. I kicked it up a bit.
That's right.
And you don't have to make it quite as spicy, but you can if you want. And
or you don't have to make it spicy at all.
Let me read the recipe for you. You will need 1 cup of Florida Crystals pure milled cane sugar, 3 pounds of shredded cabbage, 2 sweet red peppers diced, 4 to 6 stalks of celery thinly diced. The dressing, you'll need 1 cup of lemon juice, 1 cup of canola oil, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of red pepper, 1 tablespoon of prepared mustard, and 1 tablespoon of celery seed. Now, if you'll notice, I'm using a big bowl because when you use that much cabbage, you're going to have to make sure you have a big bowl because it's going to be a real challenge stirring it. I've already diced up the red pepper, sis, if you can add that.
All right.
And we'll just really carefully mix that up. And then add the celery. I've diced the celery up already. And now if you don't have, and then go ahead and pour our Florida Crystals over it. And if you don't, Florida Crystals, it's a natural cane sugar. It's before they have, actually they grind it.
Processed.
It's not processed, and they actually.
It's not processed with the.
Did you see that?
Right. Well, they grind it with animal bones. Is what they do. And but if you don't have that, you can use the regular sugar.
It's filtered with that.
Right, filtered.
It's filtered with bone char.
I meant filtered. Yeah. Thanks for covering me there on that one.
Hey, no problem. What are sisters for?
Whoa.
We are there.
You want some salt in there?
I need a bigger bowl here.
Did you want salt?
No.
Oh, no. Salt. What are you thinking about salt, sis?
I don't know what I was thinking.
Oh, that's right. Okay, we're going to make
We had quite a
dressing.
time with the Russian language when you were over there. I have to...
No, Sister Brenda had quite a time with the Russian language.
I asked him, I was trying to say how do you say hello in Russia, you know, so I was just, it had been a few minutes before they told me, and then I saw people, and so I started trying to be friendly. I went, Pожалуйста, Pожалуйsta, and every we go a little bit, I go, oh, Pожалуйsta.
Pожалуйста means you're welcome, you're welcome.
I think it's please.
Or please, it's both.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Well, I didn't know it till
And
later.
also, you know, when they beg, they go like this.
Pожалуйста wasn't it. But
Okay, moving right along here.
Okay, we're gonna make the dressing, and if you can just hand me this kettle right here.
Okay, I'll move
and
this up.
I'm gonna just you'll take some canola oil, and then go ahead and pour the
lemon juice
in, and then we're gonna do the prepared mustard. You wanna pour all this into your pot. Prepared mustard.
Does this go in there
And
too?
this is, that is your tablespoon of celery seed.
I love celery seed and stuff,
too.
don't you?
It gives it a really
wonderful
good flavor.
I don't know if we want this or not.
Oh, yes, we do. And then just a little bit of salt.
You know what that is, don't you? We all know. I think everybody knows what's in that bottle.
Whoops, I'm losing my spoon here.
Is that your secret flavoring?
if you could hand me, this is a heat-resistant spatula, which I like. You can use this or a wire whip. And this, oh my goodness, this is my super-duper seasoning, let me tell you.
Hot pepper, I'm sure. What is that, cayenne pepper?
Yeah, I'm actually not going to make it real hot just for, because
so somebody can actually eat it besides you and Joel.
I use cayenne pepper in tomato juice when I have a sore throat.
All right, sis, come on.
Honey,
refrain.
So, honey, just remember, I'm bringing you a whole bunch of coleslaw home because I just put this. Now, bring this to a boil. If you can turn this on for me. Bring this to a boil. And then you'll pour it over the cabbage and stir it up really good. Now, actually, the secret of this coleslaw is the longer it sits, the more flavor it has. And the cabbage will shrink down, and if it does, and you can eat it right away, obviously, but it's even good in a week. And thanks, sis.
There you go.
It's even good in a week. And if it shrinks down a lot, add some more fresh shredded cabbage to it. And you might also, what I like to do is I like to add some shredded fresh carrot, which I forgot to mention to you. I like to add that. So if you want to add the fresh shredded carrot to it too. And I think you'll like this. But kick it up a notch. It's really good spicy.
Or down a little notch, depending on your taste buds. But
and I think you have some over here to show.
That's right. We want to show you because Cinda is the queen of garnishing.
That's right, sis. I think you are definitely the queen of garnishing.
But thank you. I want to make sure and tell you one important thing. Do not pour this onto your coleslaw when it's hot. The dressing. Make sure it's cool before you pour it on, and then mix it up really good.
Unless they really want wilted coleslaw.
That's right. Sis, you have another recipe, our last recipe I love this one.
That's right. Let me read it for you. It's Russian rice crepes, and you'll need 1 medium onion, 1 cup of carrots, 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of Vegeta, 3 cups of short grain rice cooked. And for the soy crepes, you'll need 1 cup of whole wheat pastry flour, 1 cup of unbleached white flour, 1 teaspoon of Rumford baking powder, and 3 cups of water. This recipe is so easy to make, and you're going to want to make a double batch because they keep well as well. Because this recipe was actually given to us, as Cinda mentioned, from Pastor Valeri's wife, Tatiana, who is an incredible cook, and she made some extras. Remember, sis? What did we eat on the plane?
We had a great plane ride back. I mean, we ate.
I was trying to selfishly eat them without, someone else seeing them and wanting them because they were so good.
And I wasn't sharing with any of the passengers.
So Tatiana, we want you to know we really appreciated those rice crepes. Let me share with you that she showed us, she took us to her kitchen and showed us the rice. So the rice I'm using today is not the same rice. I can't find the exact same rice that she used, but it was a really short, tiny grain of rice. Small. And maybe in a specialty shop somewhere you can find that. If you do, write and tell us and let us know where you found that, because this rice is so wonderful. In fact, when we take another trip to Russia, I'm bringing rice back.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that was so good.
But if not, you can use this.
I got the shortest grain rice you can find.
But it's still good.
Right, get the shortest grain rice you can find. And this is cooked rice, and there's, so we just put the rice in here. Sis, if you would just go ahead and put the onions. I already sauteed the onions.
Thank you.
Cinda's going to be so thrilled I did that.
That's right.
And then I also sauteed the carrots, and this is just shredded carrots, and I just sauteed them in a little bit of olive oil, and you can mix that up, sis. And then any vegetable seasoning will do, and if it has salt, use it a little more sparingly. See, so this is just a vegetable, generic vegetable seasoning that I used, and that is all the ingredients. Weren't you amazed, Cinda, that there wasn't more ingredients? Because it was so tasty. It was so wonderful. I was actually surprised. And Linda, if you will start this up. Now for your crepe recipe, all you do is mix all your dry ingredients, then add your wet ingredients, stir it up really good. And Sister Linda, you want to just make a quick crepe while you're, tell us when it's ready there.
All right. Well,
okay, because we already have some made ahead of time that you can
just spray your pan.
And I know this has to be really nice and hot. Do you think that's hot enough? And the trick in making a nice crepe is as soon as you pour it, pour your batter in quickly and start swirling it quickly to cover your pan. And then you're going to have a good crepe. Right, sis?
That's right.
And you want a thin coating on the
I think you need a whole cup of that. But
your whole
Actually,
circumference.
actually, I use about 1/4 of a cup.
okay, I used a bigger pan this time as well. I was
Okay.
saying that, but that's good. Did you see how good she really got around to doing that? And while she's doing that, I want to just share with you, this is some that have already been done. And you can make these crepes the night before. All you do is make the crepe and then just put either foil or wax paper or saran wrap between the layers and layer them up. Cover them really good and tight and put them in your refrigerator. And that's all there is to it. So, sis, why don't you just put me just a little bit right in here. We're going to make these rice crepe, and they're really like rice crepe packages because
I was
she folds
thinking
them,
about that, little
she folds them
presents.
like little presents. She just fold them, and you can fold them a couple ways. You can fold them like this, and then once again, like like a little present. Or you can bring these in and fold in each side. But I kind of like doing it this way, where you can fold it just like a present, like a little package, and tuck these in, and then you're going to just turn it over like that. And as it sets, it kind of holds together a little better too. And it's just tiny little presents, little packages, right?
Well, this
and
one's
then-
hot and ready.
and this one's right there, so you go ahead and put that on there. It's okay. And you've got another one right ready for us too. And that just reminds me, you know, there's sis of so many different types of cuisine. And actually, we had a chance to cook for the women in Russia too, and they loved that too. And so,
In fact, one lady got so excited she picked up Cinda and swung her around the
that's
room.
right. In fact, here's a picture of her. She got her up, and she just was so excited. She just was shaking her and going, "Oh, so good!" In fact, I wish I remember what her name is, but we all know how good I am at remembering names.
So it was just like a real sack of potatoes.
That's right.
It caught me by surprise. I was like, and she kept saying, good, very good. And that's all she could tell me, but she wouldn't let me down.
Hey, we didn't speak Russian, but we understood that she liked it.
It was really,
That's right.
it was the highest form of compliment, really.
That's right. Well, we have 2 cookbooks out that we'd like to tell you about, and right now we'd like to share with you how you can get one.
If you have enjoyed the recipes that you have seen today and would like to purchase your own copy of Cooking with the Micheff Sisters or their new cookbook entitled Cooking Entrees with the Micheff Sisters, you can do so by writing to 3ABN Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois 62896. That's 3ABN Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois 62896, or call 1-800-752-3226. That's 1-800-752-3226. Or visit 3abn.org and order online. That's 3abn.org. Call and place your order today.
Hello, I'm Molly Steamson, and for the past several years, we've seen incredible enthusiasm of those who have passed out a book called 10 Commandments Twice Removed by Danny Shelton and Shelley Quinn. We've asked co-author Shelley Quinn to share some of the responses we've received, and here she is to tell us more.
Thanks, Molly. To say that God is blessing the distribution of the 10 Commandments Twice Removed would be an understatement. Nearly 7 million copies of the English and Spanish translations have already been distributed in less than 2 years. And the book has also been translated into 7 languages, including French, Tamil, Russian, Afrikaans, and Portuguese. There's really no way for us to track the total number of books distributed in these other languages, but we do know that tens of thousands have been shared. We give God all the glory for the work He is accomplishing through this simple book, the 10 Commandments Twice Removed. Now, this pile of mail that I hold in my hands is typical of the response that is being generated by this book. This is correspondence received over the past couple of weeks, letters from pastors and members of nearly every denomination. And as you can see, it's a pile that's over 6 inches tall. Let me quickly just share a couple of responses. Here's a letter from a reverend with the St. John's United Methodist Church in Pennsylvania, and she's ordering enough books so that she can study this truth with every member in her church. And here's one from a Sunday-keeping pastor in Indiana who recently told his 300-member church that from now on they're going to worship on the true day, which is Saturday. He says 150 of his members stayed with him. Now, here's one from a Baptist pastor who said that when a friend gave him this book, he began reading so that thinking that he would be able to shred the book with its quote-unquote errors. However, as I began to read, I found myself confirming what I was reading instead of refuting it. The more I read, the more I realized that I had been deceived all my life. And now I'm pleased to say he is a member of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. You know what? Danny Shelton and I just played a small part in the success of this book. It was the work God accomplished through all of you that got the Ten Commandments twice removed, into the hands of so many curious souls. With grateful hearts, we thank you for all that you're doing to get his message out to a lost and dying world.
Thank you, Shelley, for that incredible report. And if the Holy Spirit impresses you to support 3ABN's mission, please send your tax-deductible love gifts to 3ABN, Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois, 62896. Please continue to pray that we can reach even more souls for God's kingdom.
Well, I hope you have enjoyed visiting Russia with us today, and we've had such a fun time presenting these recipes.
That's right. And not only do we love your food, but we love you.
That's right. Russia.
Precious to us.
That's right. You are very precious to us. Well, let's take a look at some of the food that we've prepared for you today. And these are Linda's potato pies. And ooh, I think Cinda's going to take those from you, sis.
My favorite, that's right. And the eggplant and tomatoes.
That's right, like little sandwiches. And then also, Cindy, your vegetable pots. Look at how nice and tender that is.
And the rice crepes.
That's right. And did you notice Cinda's flour she put on there? Thank you, sis, for that.
And Tatiana's meatballs.
That's right. And I love that. And also, Linda, your borscht soup. And those beets.
And it complete with coleslaw.
That's right. Well, that's all the time we have today. Until next time, may all your meals be seasoned with God's love. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.